Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Well, yesterday again, it was a great day to start off the week. A broad-based healthy up move is what we witnessed. IT, mid-caps, small caps, all of these sectors did extremely well in yesterday's trading session. And the Nifty also held on above 24,100 odd mark as well. And the Nifty is now up 10.5% from its June 4 lows as well. There was a strong move across banking, financials space as well. We also saw metals, cement pack rallying quite a bit in yesterday's trading session. And now when we actually look at what is going to be important for us to watch out for going forward from here, of course, we'll be looking at the auto sales figures that will get a reaction in trade today. And of course, a lot of mergers, acquisitions kind of news, which will be a buzz. And we will be tracking all that for you in today's trade. Good morning to all our viewers and good morning, Shail.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. मंगलवार है तो मंगल ही होगा और as Sakshi points out, a lot of positive momentum in the market. We've seen 4 out of previous 5 trading sessions with the Nifty not only ending at day's highs but creating successive records. You have 24,141 right there in front of the screen, 131 points higher. Remember, on last Monday, the low was 23,350. So it's almost a vertical uptick with a mild profit booking on Friday, in which the Nifty closed 30 points lower, but fantastic rally, and it's not listening to anybody. So only supports are working and resistance are being taken out. You have this lovely graph in front of you of the Nifty daily chart, and you see a very strong momentum. Before I comment, I continue with my commentary on the Nifty. I'd also like you to watch the Nifty small cap index and the Nifty mid cap index. You will see a very sharp uptick coming on both those indices. And Sakshi, what is the most wonderful point to note in this rally is the very strong market breadth that is coming in the mid cap and the small cap indices. Yesterday, the small cap index, the 100 Nifty small cap index, had 80 winners, and out of the 20 that lost ground, the losses were minimal. In the mid cap index, 67 out of 100 stocks ended in the green, and in the broadest measure, the Nifty 500, 371 stocks ended with green, with more than 40 stocks hitting either 52-week highs or record highs. So that essentially tells us that the underlying strength of the market is phenomenal, and at the same time you see a lot of demand coming from Nifty as far as the intraday lows are concerned. From there we have a very strong bounce back. So please keep this in mind. If you don't agree with this uptrend, please do not short it, remain on the fence. It is a better way to observe the market from a distance. Now let's get into what the Nifty is likely to do. Sakshi will tell you in great detail that a very strong rally hit Wall Street yesterday, and Asia is in fine shape. Nasdaq is at a record high. We'll be watching our IT pack with great interest. Remember, it was the IT sector that did extremely well in yesterday's trade, and it is likely to continue. The index at the moment is fueled by intense liquidity in the market, a very strong demand at intraday's lows, and of course a lot of inflows coming in from the ultra HNI desks as well. We've discussed the state of play of mid-cap, small-cap indices. They are at record highs. It's the Fin Nifty's weekly expiry today, it being Tuesday, and Bank Nifty is on T-1. A bit of profit booking happening on the Bank Nifty. We'll discuss it in bit detail. But as far as the Fin Nifty is concerned, it also rose 0.6% all in the previous 5 trading sessions. From now on, Sakshi, what's really interesting is we'll watch the spread of the monsoon across India over the last 2 or 3 days. It's likely to show a strong grip across India, and as we can make out all over North India, you have cloudy skies with a bit of rain. So that's a big positive. From July 11th onwards, we'll have corporate earnings being declared, led by the IT pack, and that's the run up that you are already seeing in the index, as also in select counters like Infosys and TCS, which generally start the Q2 earnings season. Now, what else is happening in the market? There is a very strong, Sakshi, put writing happening on 24,000 put as far as the weekly and the monthly contracts of the Nifty are concerned, which essentially means that there is a very strong support for bulls at 24,000 on the weekly column as well as on the month end column as far as July is concerned, and the month end for July would be this time 25th of July. So strong support coming in at 24,000. A net addition of 21,94,000 puts was observed on 24,000 put for the expiry of July 4th. What is resistance? Again, we have a very strong resistance now at 24,250. It's moved 50 points higher because bears are vacating 24,200 where they are vacating 24,100. Keep that in mind. And of course, a very strong short covering happening in ITM calls. So 24,000 is a very good support. If you get the Nifty around 23,950, God willing 23,900, then that's a very nice place to get into an intraday long position. Similarly, on the Nifty bank futures, which are on T-1, which is expiry being tomorrow on the weekly space, very strong support at 52,400, 300, 200, and an extremely strong support at 52,000. Resistance at the moment is at 53,000. So that's the range of the Nifty bank. As far as individual stocks are concerned, Sakshi will tell you about how the monthly sales volume of Hero Motors has come in. A very sharp uptick on Hero Motors, 20% higher in the past 3 months. Please keep this stock in mind. It's the best rural play as far as two-wheelers are concerned. A dip in Eicher Motors, a dip in Tata Motors as far as June volume sales are concerned, and ditto as far as TVS Motors is concerned. So we'll be watching these 4 stocks in great detail, how they react. Hero Motors is up 20% in the past 3 months. Eicher has gained 17, Tata Motors is up 1%, and TVS Motors has added 10% in the past 3 months. Very strong updates coming in from CSB Bank. Remember, this was the bank which recently had a QIP of about 9% equity stake for 580 crore rupees. Credit growth is 18% and deposit growth is 12%. So please keep these numbers in mind. CDSL boards meet for a bonus issue rate ratio today, and of course Oil India will adjust to 1:2 bonus split. Sakshi, what's happening on Wall Street and what are our foreign friends doing?
Right, Shail. So overnight in the US, we did see the Nasdaq surging about 0.8% to end at record high levels, and this was largely led by a pullback in Nvidia and Tesla shares. The S&P 500 advanced 0.3%, the Dow Jones added about 0.1%, and tonight again the focus will be on the upcoming address by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell for more cues on interest rates as well. So that will be extremely important to watch out for. The US 10-year bond yield spiked to 4.47%. Among commodities, we did see that gold futures rose about $23.40 per ounce, while Brent crude oils also jumped to $86.75 a barrel mark. So those will also be a key watch that we need to keep an eye out on. Apart from this, the markets in the Asia Pacific region also displayed a mixed trend this morning. Japan's Nikkei quoted around its previous day's close, about 0.7% higher. The Australian equity benchmark was flat. Kospi, however, was down in trade about 0.5% or so. Hang Seng jumped sharply, over 1% of an uptick was seen there, and a flattish with a positive bias on the Shanghai index of 0.06% odd on the positive side. Now, as far as the GIFT Nifty trends are indicating a flattish start for the Indian market, so we'll continue to keep an eye out on that. The FI and the DIF flows also important to watch. The FI has net sold stocks to the tune of 426 odd crore rupees on Monday. On the other hand, it was domestic institutional investors that were net buyers of 3,917 odd crore rupees. So extremely important for us to watch out for these numbers. I think these are previous days numbers that are flashing, so we'll just change them for you on the screen. As far as the stocks are concerned, well, Patanjali Foods is going to be extremely important to watch out for. The company's entered into a business transfer agreement with Patanjali Ayurved to acquire the non-food business undertaking or the hair care, skin care, dental care and home care business of Patanjali Ayurved, including all movable assets, immovable properties, contracts, licenses. And this is on a slump sale basis. The acquisition falls under the ambit of a related party transaction. This is for a total consideration of 1100 crore rupees, which will be paid in 5 tranches. We'll keep an eye out on that. On CSB Bank, we are going to be keeping an eye out on. The company has come out with an update. It's recorded a 17.8% year-on-year growth in its gross advances to 25,099 odd crores. Deposits have jumped 22.2% at 29,920 odd crore rupees. We'll look at that business update reaction too. Of course, auto sales, as Shail has pointed out, Hero Moto is going to be important. It will be reacting to its sales data. Strong numbers there. June sales have risen 15% year-on-year to 5.03 lakh units. Domestic sales are up 16% to 4.9 lakh units. It's going to be expanding its EV portfolio now with new products in the mid and the mass segments as well. So that's going to be a key watch going forward. Eicher Motors, here Royal Enfield sales were down 5% in June on a year-on-year basis. Exports were down 27% to 7,024 units. Also, Tata Motors, here the total domestic sales slipped 8% on a year-on-year basis to 74,147 units. The total CV sales were also down 7%, while the total passenger vehicle sales were down 8% as well. So disappointment all across. However, exports did see an increase of 13% to 1,457 units. TVS Motors again, total two-wheeler sales was up 6% to 3.22 lakh units. Domestic two-wheeler sales rose by 8% to 2.5 lakh units, and EV sales were up 10% to 15,859 units. So this could see a positive reaction on that. We'll continue to see some order flow news too. DCX Systems is going to be in focus. It's got an order worth 1250 odd crore rupees from L&T for manufacture and a supply of electronic modules. IOL Chemicals, that's going to be in focus. It's got China's drug regulatory authority for fenofibrate, which is going to be allowing the company to export it to the Chinese market. Fenofibrate is used for the treatment of high cholesterol. So that's going to be important. NMDC has again reported its business update. It's reported a production volume at 3.37 million tons. That's down 3.2% year-on-year. And sales volumes at 3.73 million tons. That's down 9% year-on-year for the month of June. Again, from the IPO space, there's going to be another action. Allied Blenders and Distillers, the newest kid on the block, will make its debut today. And analysts do expect the stock to list at around 12 to 20% premium over the IPO price of 281 rupees per share. So somewhere between about 340, 350 odd rupees is something that you could actually expect on this one, as is also being indicated by the grey market premium. So those are some of the stocks that I'm keeping an eye out on, Shail.
Sakshi, it's going to be a wonderful day. I'll also like to mark Maruti, not because it's Tuesday and Maruti has a very strong correlation to move up on Tuesday, but for a very simple reason. Maruti lost ground in the month of June when everybody, almost all stocks rose dramatically, but there was a sign of very strong flutter on the long side yesterday. Maruti was the top traded stock future, ahead of SBI, ahead of HDFC Bank, ahead of Reliance, ahead of Infosys. Total stock future volume was 38,912 contracts. The lot size is 50. This is a stock to keep in mind because of the fact that in the month of June you had it down 4% when the market, forget everything else, Nifty rose 6.5%, 7%. So keep Maruti in mind. This is an uptrend that may have started. I'll request the PCR to fire a long-term chart of Maruti. Let's see whether that's possible or not. But let me just point out the most highest level that we've seen on Maruti very recently. It's about 12,940. This was seen on 13th June, and Yesterday's close, day before yesterday's close was 12,033. So a nice 900 rupee correction has come in on Maruti. That's roughly 7.5% if you look at it mathematically. And from now on, let us see how Maruti catches up with the rest of the auto space. Let me just give you another data on Maruti. What is the quarterly change that has come in on Maruti? Okay, the quarter change is actually minus 3%. So this is what needs to be looked at. I believe Dharmesh ji has joined us. Mr. Dharmesh Kant, Head of Equity Research at Cholamandalam Securities, graces us with his wonderful presence. Namaste Dharmesh ji, a very warm welcome to you, sir. And how does sentiment on Dalal Street look? What are you telling clients? 5 दिन में से 4 दिन निफ्टी हरे निशान में, every day record highs. There is no stopping the rally on mid caps and small caps. What are you buying and what are you selling?
Yeah, Namaste Sanjay. Good morning, Sakshi, and good morning to all viewers. Sentiments does remain very, bullish and gung ho on the Dalal Street, and every day the markets are making new high, and this has been the trend for last 7 months. The good point is that the SIP flows and the domestic institutional flows continues to intact. In fact, it has, become more aggressive as we walk into the budget session. The initial fear of monsoon, maybe, there may be a mess is now getting, abated with MD again reiterating that it's going to be above normal monsoon and that sentiment has picked up again. The valuation wise, market do remain stretched, but the point now you people are talking about is not 1 year, 2 year, but 4 to 5 year kind of a trajectory. So the fact remains there is no seller in the market. I mean, nobody wants to book profit and get out on their investments. They want to continue long and they are searching for new ideas, which is there. Plenty of them is there. The only part is the valuation thing. That becomes expensive. Having said that, the story remains the same. There has no change in the sectors which we have been recommending for the last 6 months, and those are different sectors, railway infra, some cyclical metal plays are coming into it. Of late, I do think chemical, particularly the specialty chemical part, is looking again interesting. Having said that, let me again remind you, nothing on ground has actually materialized as far as getting new orders or better visibility is concerned. It's only that people are expecting that in Europe things are going to pick up soon, and that is what the valuation comfort was there because the stock has taken a huge correction. If earnings come back, then they are a discount to their average multiples. So that is one sector which is looking a bit interesting, and a textile is one sector again which currently looks a bit better poised for up move, that too in the garmenting side of the textile division. So these are the two new area where we are having a look at, but depends on how the growth trajectory takes. So as of now, nothing negative in the market.
Okay, very good morning to you, Dharmesh ji. I wanted to first begin by understanding your own sense on the entire auto space where the sales have come in. It's a mixed bag, so to speak, so far. But are there any signs of rural recovery that you are looking at with the sales figures now displaying as far as the June numbers are concerned?
Sakshi, I mean, having regard to the Hero Motocorp number, it does look like. Yeah, I mean, that number was particularly better and domestic sales was much better. I mean, 5 lakh plus kind of an average they have done, where the expectation was around 480, 490, 4 lakh 90,000, 80,000 units per month kind of an average. So there is some, you can say outperformance out there. But overall, generally speaking, it's more been a lackluster quarter, which was expected. Given the high base effect and the type of 1 year good run most of the automobile companies have taken place. Valuations are again very discomforting at current levels. I think second quarter would be a bit more difficult, though the theme again here being played is that rural recovery, and but we have to see when this recovery comes through. We have seen Maharashtra government has come out with more of a populist kind of a budget. We are boosting the rural income. If the same is the scenario in the union budget, then maybe Hero Motocorp kind of a company may find some traction going into play. Export, unlike the expectation has not performed to that level, be it Bajaj Auto or TVS Motor. Export has been a drag, and so has been the farm equipment segment. So overall, I mean, there's hardly any margin of error. If one is to go by an outperformance kind of a outlier, then there are only two stocks to my mind which looks attractive even at current levels, having the multiple vectors in place. One is M&M. It's looking very, very decent and attractive, and that's the one which has come out with a very strong set of numbers as well as far as number of vehicles sold is concerned. And the second is Hero MotoCorp. Apart from that, I do feel that we are getting in for a profit-taking kind of a season for next quarter in most of the auto companies.
Okay, and brokerage houses have also come out with a report on the entire auto space. So Nomura believes that volumes have been below their estimate for Ashok Leyland, TVS, Tata Motors, and M&M's tractor volumes have covered up for the weaker SUV sales. They also say that Bajaj Autos and Maruti's wholesales are ahead, partly driven by higher exports. Although small cars are unlikely to see significant revival, and SUVs will continue to gain share. Morgan Stanley, on the other hand, viewers, has come out with a report saying on auto space again that retail sales have remained weak during the month and two-wheelers have outperformed the other segments. The rising PV discounts, the passenger vehicle discount, is a key thing to monitor. They also believe electric two-wheeler penetration could continue to improve, while electric passenger vehicle sales were hit by weak fleet demand. M&M and Bajaj Auto have remained their preferred picks as far as Morgan Stanley is concerned. So that's about the auto space too. Yours, Shail.
Yes, actually, let's just dig it a little deeper. When you look at the EV part of the business, look at how TVS Motors has shaped up. Its EV sales actually rose about, the number was 10% year on year. They've exceeded 15,500 units in the month of June. So that's a very well taken point. And what's happening, Sakshi, actually is that the actual performance of stocks is far, far ahead, especially in the auto space, is far, far ahead of what the on-ground volume sale picture or the numbers that are. The BSE Auto Index in 1 year is up 64%. In the last 3 months, the index itself is up 17%, and the last month it added 8%. So this is the run-up that is happening, but this is not syncing with the volume sales growth that is coming in. Look at Maruti. Dharmeshji, I'd like to take your view on Maruti. This is something that is slipping, and while volume sales may not have kept up, but this is one disappointment in an overall excellent stock market action during the entire auto pack. What is your view on Maruti?
Yeah. So, Sally, if you look at it, the stock market action was more to do with the capacity expansion plan and the aggression which management has shown, almost doubling of, more than doubling of the capacities in next 5 or 6 year time frame, and that is the potential they see in Indian car market segment. So, if you do per capita car when compared to developed countries, definitely there's a plenty of scope. And having in regard that after 10 years, if the rule of is implemented of phasing out of old vehicles, so to control the pollution. So this definitely there's a much larger scope to that. But the scene is changing on the listed play segment. So earlier Maruti for the PV segment, there were only two competitors. One was Tata Motors and the other was M&M. M&M to a very small extent. But I think later in the year when Hyundai will get listed, so they will face a serious competition for choice to the investor whether to buy a Hyundai listed play or to buy a Maruti. And the run-up has already been very sharp. I mean, 50, 60 kind of a PE multiple the stock is trading at. When the growth at best can be say 15, 17%, and the best of operating margin is anyways over. So now here on, even that will have a headwind to that impact. Good part is companies are able to take price hikes, but after announcing of price hikes, we have seen of late dealer discount has come into play. And we did some dealer check with most of the automobile dealers out there in and around Mumbai and outside of Mumbai as well. So the inventory built up has been very high. So they are now, telling companies not to send the vehicles to their, dealerships till the time the inventory is cleared. So I do think even from a long-term perspective, one should not be investing new in Maruti. You may still continue to hold on to the position which you are having, and let Hyundai gets listed, and then a fresh, option would be there to have a look at which one to buy.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as the entire auto space is concerned. How about the entire cement space, Dharmeshji? How are you looking at the entire basket now? It has been resuming the uptrend since the time mergers and acquisitions were being announced. Do you still feel there is enough and more scope for these stocks to continue to drive up momentum, and should investors continue to tap on the opportunity?
I think in cement, the only play which is happening right now is more to do with merger and acquisition. Volume growth is there and it's likely to be there for the next 1 or 2 years. I mean, 10% kind of a volume growth is expected, early teens kind of a volume growth. But their inability to take price hike is being sensitive. I mean, the moment the price hikes are taken, even they indirectly or indirectly some intervention by the government also takes into play. And best of operating margin again is being played out or baked in into the earnings forecast of most of these companies. But my own sense is that this activity is likely to continue going forward because the smaller companies are, very cheap. If you look at EBITDA per ton based on EV basis, sorry, EV per ton based on the valuation multiple, it's only 60, 70, 80. There are plenty of such companies on a small capacity wise, they are available for sale. Whereas if you look at say ACC or Ultratech, they are almost northward of 250, 300 EV per ton kind of a valuation multiple. So there's a huge valuation comfort out there. Usually if you go by building up a new capacity, a greenfield capacity, it's around $90 EV per ton kind of a capacity comes into the valuation comes into play. So this will keep the budge higher. I mean, volume will support the budge at the same time, budget acquisition activity, both for the person who is acquiring and the person who is getting acquired. The prices are going to be on the uptrend. You may not get the structural consecutive kind of an updates, but down days are definitely restricted. So it is that theme playing out. One should remain invested in most of the cement companies.
Right. Dharmeshji, you've mentioned M&M as one of your stocks that you find comfort with as far as the actual business performance is concerned, although the stock has surged dramatically. In the mid cap and small cap space, despite this huge run up, are there some stocks which still offer value to retail investors at current levels? Could you please share their names?
Shally, I mean, you have to look at auto ancillaries then if you want to go to mid cap and small cap, not OEM manufacturers. And in auto ancillary space, there are stories which are still building up. Numbers have been fantastic for most of these companies, which are likely to be so going forward as well. Valuation wise, if you look at fundamental school of valuation multiple, all of them are very expensive. But I do think JBM Auto, Uno Minda, Craftsman, Rolex Ring, these are the companies which still provide a greater upside for auto ancillaries play. Bharat Forge and Motherson, many people have been talking about. Even the stock price run-up has been very great. But Bharat Forge had that US angle of Class 8 trucks, which sometimes become crazier. At the same time that they have a defense play baked into the entire valuation, SOTP based kind of a valuation multiple. So we are sticking to pure auto ancillary plays, and as I said, these are the names which I still find attractive. But these are buy and hold. You should, I mean, the stock price action happens in the next 3 months or 2 months. That's welcome. But valuation wise, the justification will depend if you're holding for 3 years kind of a time frame.
Right. We'll pay attention to what the rates are clicking in the pre-open space. The Nifty well past 24,200, now 63 points higher. Let's look at the super index heavy weight space. HDFC Bank 9.8 rupees higher, 1750. This is a good sign for the Bank Nifty. Remember, we are on T-1 as far as the weekly expiry is concerned. A nice green tick on TCS. 41 rupees higher, 4020. This is again a very big plus for the IT index as also for the Nifty. Remember, Nasdaq closed at a record high. What else is smartly in the green? Infosys 1600, 9 rupees 20 higher. Reliance muted after yesterday's fall, a green tick now, 5.7%, 5.6 rupees higher, 31.27. What's smartly up? L&T, 42 rupees higher at 35.68. It's going to be a good day for the Nifty today. Now 104 rupees higher at 24,240. This is a record high, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the cash counters. Patanjali Foods, announcement of an acquisition. The management will be joining us at 10 a.m. Please do listen to the Chief Executive Officer. The counter is up 4.5%, 1779. CSB Bank 3.9% higher, 390. Let's look at the auto space and find out what's happening in Hero Motors. Let's find out what's showing on Eicher Motors. Hero Motors is 2.8% higher, 5762. A 15% rise in sales exceeding 5 lakh units in the month of June year on year. Eicher Motors, a disappointment quarter volume, but still the counter is in green. How about TVS Motors? Yes, this is a pain point. The counter is down 8.5%. We'll wait for it to sort of correct. What about Tata Motors? 0.7% higher, 1009. So weak volume sales are not making a dent at all as far as Tamo and TVS and Eicher Motors are concerned. We'll head back to FNO. Let's look at counters that are moving smartly in the green. You have Reliance now 2% higher, 3184. It's going to be a very good day for the Nifty. What else is moving? It's a downgrade on Marico, 1.2% higher, 628. L&T Finance is something I'll be keeping an eye out, 1.2% higher, 192. Very quickly into NSE 500, if there are any ones. Yes, I think Sakshi will have to keep an eye out on brokerage companies because SEBI has been active on different kind of charges that brokerages charge from investors, which are not linked to turnover. So there's a change in regulation. There have to be a flat fee. All brokers will be in pain today. Engine One leads the downtick, 4% lower, 2475. What are you observing?
Well, a whole host of stocks. Let's continue to look at the IT space, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, because these have been the driving factors of the IT space of late. We'll continue to keep an eye out on the IT pack right there. It's flattish now, 1471, and Wipro also is absolutely flat at this point in time. Let's look at Indigo. I'm keen on looking at how that has opened because Goldman Sachs came out with a buy call and raised the target price to 4700 for that one. So let's see if that has moved again. Half odd percent, almost 0.6% of an improvement right there, 42.49. Let's also look at PVR Inox. Remember, this stock has been a buzz with all the action yesterday, and UBS has maintained a buy with a target price that they have given at 1800. However, just about 0.8% of an improvement on that one. Let's also look at CSB Bank that came out with a business update, a strong one at that. Let's see if that one has got a reaction in the markets. So that also, CSB Bank is, yes, up 4% after that business update came in truly. Apart from this, let's also look at DCX Systems to see how that one has reacted to its order win of 1250 odd crore rupees from L&T that it has got. So let's look at both DCX Systems, a very sharp up move. You can see a 17.3% up move after that 1250 odd crore rupees order that DCX Systems has got from L&T and for supply of electronic modules. So there you have it, a very, very strong surge. Let's also look at IOL Chemicals. It got the Chinese regulatory authorities approval as far as exports of its fenofibrate drug is concerned. Again, another 5% higher in trade. And let's also look at NMDC. The company had reported muted volumes for the month of June as far as the production numbers are concerned. A flattish trade on that one as of now. Let's get Dharmeshji into the conversation. Dharmeshji, first DCX Systems for you. A very strong surge on this order win. 17.5% of a strong surge. Are you positive about this company and the continuous run up? Okay, now we have a 13% uptick at 429.
Yeah, definitely, Sakshi. I mean, we have an initiating coverage on this company at around 284 kind of a stock price level. And we interacted with the management multiple times, and the management seems to be very aggressive about this EMS opportunity which this company is setting on. So earlier they used to do testing and assembly of PCBs. Now they are doing backward integration, will be manufacturing same. The company has a very strong track record of EMS for defense companies. Basically, ILTA, there's a Israeli-based defense company with whom they have a tie-up. 95% of their revenue used to happen from that. And now they have also tied up with Lockheed Martin of US, Rafale Advanced System. And L&T was in the offing, which the order came yesterday. So my own sense is if you continue to hold it, though initial price target we had of 379, just we wanted to wait and watch and see how the things flow in. Now it has started flowing in, and with the type of opportunity which is there for this segment with Make in India concept. Earlier it was IOP, India Offset Partners. Now for a 30-40% kind of a thing, if your sourcing to India has to be manufactured in India. Now with Make India, the limit has gone to 50%. At the same time, you have technology transfer. So this is a buy and hold kind of a stock which you have must have in the portfolio and keep on holding it. Things will start flowing in. We are expecting almost doubling of your top line and bottom line in next 2 years time frame. And order book upside is very sky high kind of an upside is there. So we would be monitoring it closely. As of now, our recommendation is after the price target was achieved, is a hold rating on the company.
Okay, we'll look at the high beta space within the PSU setup, and this is how stocks have settled in pre-open. The top gainer is GIC Housing Finance, 1.5% higher, 245.70. Remember, the entire housing finance sector, whether it is Canfin Homes, PNB Homes, as also the private sector housing finance space is being abuzz with gains. GIC Housing Finance is a laggard. Please keep it in your radar as far as today's trades are concerned. The railway pack, remember, it's showing strong gains, about a percentage point uptick in Tex Rail to 52.90. You have Titagarh Wagons, 0.5% higher, 1834. The PSU railway pack is quiet. IRFC 0.5% higher, IRCTC 0.3% higher, rights flat, and of course that's ditto for IRCON as well. Defense, remember yesterday's strong show was by Garden Reach Shipbuilders, phenomenal rally there. The counter was up 10% yesterday, still shining 1.3% higher, 23,388. Needless to say, this is a record high. Dharmeshji, no matter how much we try to dissuade people from not looking to defense because of the vertical rallies that are happening, how do you see this space? Do you still have a favorite where valuations might be sensible, or is this something that's just run away?
No, Shalini, I lost your voice in between, but what I believe is you're talking about railway stocks.
Defense.
Yeah. So I think if you're looking at railway infra
Defense.
kind of a company, so railway infra companies, so
Please continue.
they're still, yeah. So I mean, valuation wise, it would be very difficult to justify because most of these companies have run up more than 100%. Like RVNL, we started, recommending at 140 kind of a stock price level, and now it is almost 400 plus. So it becomes difficult to justify from a short to medium term kind of a perspective. But the way the entire opportunity is unfolding in the railway space, I do think if you're holding for 3 to 5 years kind of a time frame, it's still a good opportunity. And the reason being, there are two things. Once the consistency in the order book and expanding order book. At the same time, the second factor being the quality of order book. Earlier, it was low quality, low margin kind of order which this company used to get. Now it's getting more and more, on a higher margin accretive kind side, more of a product play kind of thing. So they recall international. RBNL looks pretty attractive to me from railway infra space. One should stay invested. Tex Rail, we did had a trading buy on that from the budget perspective, and it has moved up quite a lot. So you would be, recommending to take profit in that soon. So that is not for a new investments. These two companies still looks very attractive.
Okay, what about, all right, we'll also welcome our other guest on the show. I think Kunal is now with us. Kunal Viparar, VP Technical Research Choice Equity Broking is with us. Kunal, warm welcome. Thanks a lot for taking the time out. Your own sense right before the markets open, any two stock ideas that you can share with our viewers?
Yes, two stocks are there in which I'm seeing a very good upside momentum in today's trading session. First is KPR Mill. Right now, the way stock has been trading since last many days. Even in yesterday's trading session, we saw some good breakout on daily and weekly chart. Right now, stock is trading somewhere around 920 in pre-opening. So it's a long call from my side. One can get into the stock with street SL of 890. If we talk about target wise, then the first target would be at 943 and second target would be at 980. So first call is KPR Mill and second one is Chennai Petro, because the way stock has been trading since last many days, it has been trading in an uncharted territory. Stock is continuously taking the support of its 100 mm. So I'm seeing a very good side momentum in the counter right now. In pre-opening, it is showing somewhere around 980. So one can get into the stock at 980. If you talk about SL side, then 950 would be the SL. Now, if you talk about target wise, then first target is 1003 and second target would be at 1040.
Okay. All right, so those are the two stock ideas that Kunal has also shared with us. Kunal, I'll also ask you, I had asked Dharmeshji on DCX Systems because it indicated a very strong opening on that order win. How would you be really looking at this stock? Is this something, if it moves higher at around 9-10% as it is being indicated in pre-open, would you chase the momentum?
Well, at this level, no, from my side, because no doubt it is showing some gap opening by 10%, and risk reward is not favorable at present level. So, what I would recommend is like please hold your stock. If you have this stock in your portfolio, we can see very good upside momentum in the counter from the present level, and stock just had entered into an uncharted territory. Even a breakout is there from 390 level. So, 440, 455 would be there in upcoming trading session, but definitely I'm not recommending to go for fresh buy right now.
Got that. Just about 30 seconds remaining and the markets could be opening at record high levels, both the Sensex and the Nifty viewers. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Very quickly, 15-20 seconds for you, Kunal. Auto space, which stock will you be looking at today?
Well, my favorite stock, Tata Motors, right now stock is trading at 1004 level, and recent stock has taken the support of its 100 mm. So it's a long call from my side based on the daily chart. 1004. Okay, one can get into the stock. If we talk about SL wise, then 948 would be the perfect SL. Okay, now if you talk about target wise, then the first target is 1046, and if stock gives a breakout of this 1046, then we can see somewhere around 1120 level as well. So 10 to 11% from the present level in the counter.
Okay.
Have the opening codes for Tuesday: 47 points higher on the Nifty, 81 points higher on the Nifty Bank. Taking it away is the IT index, 220 points higher, 37,900. Let's look at what TCS and Infosys are doing. TCS is up 0.5% at 21 rupees, at almost 4,000. Infosys is 5 rupees 60 higher at 1596. How about HDFC Bank? Let's look at the index heavyweights. 9 rupees 50 higher, 1714. How about Reliance? 12 rupees 35 higher, 31.32. Okay, it's a very strong opening. Let's look at Tata Motors here only. 5 rupees 80 lower, 997. Remember, the July volume sales weren't as good. The Nifty is now gathering steam, 60 points higher as far as the initial 1 or 2 minutes are concerned. Readjustment in Oil India, remember ladies and gentlemen, 1:2 bonus split. 1:2. 492, the counter is a strong 3.4% higher. Garden Reach taking it away 4% higher, 2408. A strong number coming in from CSB Bank as far as the business update is concerned, 3.7% higher, 390. Patanjali Foods 2.5% higher, 1744. A very strong move coming into computer age management systems CAMS as well. They've tied up with Google, 2.3% higher, 3741. Let's look at the most active stocks. Anything that of consequence? Yes, Angel One, 7% lower, 2400. This is a direct correlation to the changes that SEBI has made for charges other than brokerages on a lot of listed brokerage players. Let's look at FNO. You have a strong move coming into Hindustan Aeronautics, 0.5% higher, 5418 among the top gainers. Okay, Deepak Nitrite, this is something that you have to see a very strong chart, 2.6% higher, 2687. Nothing much of interest here. Eicher Motors 1.2% higher. Let's look at what Hero Motors is doing. This should be moving in strength. No, Hero Motors is 0.5% lower, 5582. How about TVS Motors? 1% lower, 2338. And how about Eicher? Eicher 1.1% higher, 4689. So those who outperform on volume sales for the month of June are down. Those who underperform on volume sales are actually moving up. 50 points higher, 24,190. Kunal, coming to you, what would be your first step into the market on this lovely Tuesday? Kunal, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now I can hear you.
Your first step into the markets today, what will you do?
Well, the way both the indexes are trading in a morning session, I would say one can go for long in Nifty and Bank Nifty as well. Right now, Nifty is trading at 24,196 and my target is 24,400 for upcoming trading session. And in today's trading session, we can see somewhere around 24,270 to 24,290. So it's a clear-cut long signal the way both the indexes are trading. And if you talk about Bank Nifty, right now Bank Nifty is trading 52,681. No need to worry about the Bank Nifty because I'm seeing that HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, Kotak Bank, and few PSU banks definitely will support this momentum. And based on this momentum, we can see very good upside movement in Bank Nifty up to the level of 52,800, 52,900 for today's trading session. However, if you talk about next 2 to 3 day trading session, then we can see a good upside momentum even up to the level of 53,400, 53,500.
Well, DCX Systems, let's again keep an eye out on this one. 15% higher right in the opening minutes. We discussed this right before. Strong order win, and the reaction is also equally strong on DCX Systems now at 437. IOL Chemicals, again another positive development on Chinese approval as far as the exports of drugs are concerned. 7.5% up move for IOL Chemicals as well. Let's get Dharmeshji into the conversation. Dharmeshji, you said DCX Systems, you have a hold on the stock with now this news flow and the reaction 15% higher. What would you say?
See, I think this momentum-led market, and wherever there is some positive development coming into play, the markets are rewarding them. Regarding this LNT order, I would like to highlight that this would be spread over a period of 3 years. So around 1250 crores of order which has come. So 400 crores, 450 would be the run rate when it comes to translating into the top and bottom line of the DCX company. Having said that, the best part is last year when they closed the financial year, they were sitting on an order book of around 1600 odd crores. So this is the first big order win for the company in this financial year, which almost takes care of 80% of the previous year order book. They have minor order wins before that. So if this trajectory is likely to continue, and if they are able to build in an order book of say 3,000, 3,500 odd crores, that is what they hinted at for this fiscal. then definitely they would be re-rating. Valuation wise, it's on the, again, the higher end of the multiple. But when you are into almost a doubler kind of a trajectory, it is likely to be the case. As far as top line and bottom line is concerned, we are expecting around 2030 odd crores of top line by FY26, and bottom line, which is around 72 crores, we are expecting it to go to around 140, 150 odd crores. So doubling of the profitability as well, having regard to the present, run which the company is having. So again, I would not recommend to buy at current levels. If you have not invested, then go for a staggered kind of a buying approach. So buy some now, don't put all your eggs. And if it cools down, say 30, 40 rupees or 20 rupees tomorrow or day after, then you can put your more money into it. If you have already invested, as our clients, I believe, must have done, for them, we are continue to maintain a hold rating. So we'll see one more quarter of earnings before revising the upside price targets.
Got that. Kunal, let me bring you in. I had asked you your favorite auto stock and you said Tata Motors. I will ask you now on auto ancillaries. All of them are taking it away. Uno Minda is about 4.5% higher. You have Talbros Auto, that's up 4%. Wheels India is up 4%. Kirloskar Brothers is moving up as well. The entire space seems to be abuzz with action. Where are you looking at and keeping your attention within the auto ancillary pack?
Well, all the auto stocks and all the auto ancillary particularly are performing very well. And since last 1 year, if you talk about all the auto stocks, they have performed fantastically. Means more than 50 to 60% return that we have seen in these counters. Now, if you talk about fresh long position that one can make in any counter is Kilos Winners right now, which is trading at 2343 level. And stock is giving a breakout of its flat formation. And if you talk about weekly chart, stock has been trading in uncharted territory since long with above average volume, so it clearly indicating a positive rhythm in the counter right now. So it's a clear buy signal from my side. One can get into the stock at 2347 level. Now, if you talk about SL side, and XL would be at a little bit lower level, 2100. But do not get worried about this SL, because we can see very good upside momentum in the counter from the present level. First target would be at 2540, which would be somewhere around 8% from the present level. And if you talk about ultimate target is 2850, means 20 to 21% from the present level. So yes, definitely this stock looks very good to me. One can get into the stock with the strict SL of 2100.
Sakshi, there's just no stopping garden reach. Now it's the top traded counter, 406 crores already traded, 6.9% higher, 2,464. I'm just marking price. There is no point taking a technical view because it's just completely overstretched. We don't want a situation where it ends in a disaster. If you have it, just hold it and be very happy. Very, very strong volumes coming in. Ditto Mazgaon Dock, 1.8% higher, 4478, 237 crores worth of transactions done. Patanjali, fairly decent volumes for this stock, 182 crores, 1.87% higher. Remember, they've purchased a small, their own subsidiary, and that's going to result in a fairly substantial jump in EBITDA, revenue, as well as the profit after tax. We'll be meeting with the management a little later. In terms of all-time highs, there is Uno Minda. This is something that Dharmeshji just marked, 3.5% higher, 1184. There is Mahanagar Gas, Petronet LNG, up between 0.2 and 0.5%. And you have ACC and Dixon Technologies. These are the stocks that are hitting new highs as far as the market is concerned. A bit of a slip that's coming on the Nifty, now up just 33 points. Remember, it had opened with a gap up of about 87, 88 points. It's going to fill that gap, and then maybe from 24,100, let's see what it does. But a fairly decent move coming in. Let's look at volume buzzers. It's Angel One, okay, 7% lower, 2398. This is one of the most visible impacts that's happened because of SEBI's change in regulations. We also track many other brokers. Let me just point out their stock price to you. Geojit Financial Services, 2.5 rupees lower, 101. You have Anand Rathi down 0.5%, 3,900. You have Nuvuma down about 1.35%, and of course we'll also look at Edelweiss. Remember, this is also a listed brokerage. The counter is up 2.4% at 67.40. Deepak Nitrite taking it away. Very good charts, 27.30. What are the charts of Deepak Nitrite telling you, Kunal?
Well, Deepak Nitrite right now trading at the 2730 level, and stock has given a breakout. Okay, of recently, double top formation. And if you talk about weekly chart, the stock looks very attractive to me because stock recently took the support of 100 moving average, and afterwards we saw a very good bounce back in the counter. So right now it's a clear buy signal from my side. One can get into the stock at present level. Now, CLG, if we talk about SL, then SL would be at a little bit lower level, 2500. But nothing to worry because of this bigger SL, because the way stock has given a breakout of on its weekly chart, we can see very good upside movement in the counter. So one can get into the stock at the 2720 level, 20 with the SL of 2500. Now, if we talk about target side, and first target comes at 2900, and if stock gives a breakout of this 2900, then we can see a very good upside movement up to the level of 3200 as well. So it's a clear buy signal on the weekly chart with a strict SL of 2500.
Okay, let's again look at the broader universe to see which are the stocks that are doing well. Wockhardt Pharma is something that I had checked yesterday. It's again up 6% up after yesterday's 20% uptake that we had seen. So no stopping that one as well. Apart from this, there are several other stocks that are on the up move. You have Anant Raj Industries, that's up 7%. Roto Pumps, remember, yesterday had touched 20% uptake. It's again up 6% higher in trade. Then you also have stocks like Country Club Hospitality up 7% in trade today. This space also has been a buzz with some of the other action almost every day. But let me ask Dharmesh ji on Wockhardt Pharmaceuticals. Dharmesh ji, what is your sense, and do you have a favorable view as far as Wockhardt is concerned, or do you think it is rallied too sharply after a long wait and now you would want to avoid it?
Yes, actually, I mean, long back we have dropped it from a list of stocks to be tracked, or from the coverage list. So as of now, we don't have any view on Wockhardt Pharma.
As of now, you do not have any view right there. Kunal, how about the technical chart of Wockhardt? What does that indicate?
Well, no doubt, stock performed very well in today's trading session, and it is performing very well in today's trading session, up by 5%. And from the result level, I'm seeing a very good upside movement in the counter because in yesterday's trading session, counter gave a breakout of its 810 level, okay, which was like strong resistance on a weekly chart. So from the present level, we can say that the stock is marching towards the level of 1015. And if stock gives a breakout of this 1015, then further upside momentum would be there up to the level of 1200. But the main question is, it's better to get into the stock right now. So it's clearly no from my side. If you have the stock in your portfolio, then please hold the stock.
Okay, got that. So that's the view coming in on Wockhardt as of now. Railway space again, RITES is I think buzzing in trade, about 3% higher in trade, but the others also, Texmaco, Titagarh, IRCTC, Ircon, they are about 0.5% to 1% up in trade. Kunal, anything that you'd like to highlight within the railways pack, or is the momentum slowing down?
Well, I would say wait for the time being, wait for the time being, because the way all the stocks have been trading since last many days. It's like all the stocks right now are trading in overbought zone. So let's wait for the time being. Let's keep them. Let's wait for the time being for a better opportunity.
9:30, ladies and gentlemen, the first 15 minutes of trade are done, and the Nifty has slipped to 24,128. This is a very strong support level. Let's see what happens. The value added VWAP price is now The Nifty is below that. Let's see how it shapes up. We'll keep an eye out on that one. The Bank Nifty has slipped 187 points, 52,389. But strength in the IT index. Let's look at the broader markets. This is as right time as any to keep a view on what's happening across the board. It's not as bullish as it was yesterday. 1500 stocks in the green compared with 700 in the red. The broader markets are in a bit of a profit booking mode. We tracked 19 indices for you. Only 4 of them are in any decent green shape. So about 15 indices in the red. The top loser is the Nifty Financial Services Index, which is undergoing its weekly expiry. The advanced decline even within the mid caps and small caps isn't great. The Nifty small cap index is mildly in the green, 56 shares in the green versus 43 in the red. How about the mid cap index? Let's look at that one. The mid cap index is marginally in the red, 50-50 is the ratio. I think it's the energy space. Gujarat Gas 1.4% higher. Mahanagar Gas is already at a record high, 1812. Sharp move coming into Indraprastha Gas. Kunal, coming to you. MGL, IGL, what would you prefer?
Well, Selji, actually, I would say go with long position MGL, because right now MGL is trading at 1850 level, and since last 3 days we have seen a very good upside movement counters. Even on weekly chart, stock has given a breakout of its 1600 level, and I think one can get into stock at present level. Now, if we talk about SL side, and SL. SL comes at 1720 levels. Right now, stock is trading at 1820. So based on this support, we can see good upside movement up to the level of 1900 and 1980. So it's better to go for long in MGL only.
Fair point. Strong move on Mahanagar, 1824. Petronet is also moving. It's a very quiet stock, although at a record high. Kunal, coming in on Petronet, about 1% higher now, 335 in the futures. What are Petronet charts telling you?
It's clearly buy signal on a daily chart. The way stock has been trading, and recently stock took the support of its even 100 days moving average on a smaller time frame. It has been trading in an upper rising channel formation. So, Selji, it's a clear buy signal from my side. One can get into the stock at present level at 337. Now, if we talk about SL side, and SL comes little bit lower at 320. And if we talk about target size, then we can see very good upside momentum in the counters with the street SL of 320. First target would be at 348. And if stock gives a breakout of this 348, then 368 will be there.
Dharmeshji, wanted to draw your attention again back to. All right, I think Dharmeshji has left. Never mind. We have Kunal with us. Also wanted to draw your attention to the IT space again, Kunal. Wipro, Infosys, HCL Tech, TCS, they're buzzing in trade again today. Where would you keep your focus within the IT pack? I mean, is it the big 4 IT firms that you're more bullish on, or would you still stick with the mid-cap IT names?
Well, clearly, I say that Infosys but can get into the stock right now at present level, because I'm seeing a very good upside momentum in Infosys. And when Infosys is trading at very attractive level, why would I go for another stocks? Stock has been trading about 100 days moving average, and the way stock has been trading, I think we can see a very good upside momentum up to the level of 1700. And if stock gives a breakout of the 1700, then 1900 will be there in meantime. So yes, definitely Infosys looks very attractive at present level. One can get into the stock at 1600. Downside strong support comes at 1540, 1540. So please keep 1540 as a strong support.
Okay, so we have seen a sharp fall from the day's high point for the market. More and more sectors under the fold of the bears right now. We only have oil and gas, realty, IT, infrastructure, and the small caps holding up. Rest of the market space is seen slipping, especially the auto space that's down 0.5% with the index. Banking space, of course, that's a big drag. Nifty Bank is down by 0.3%. Financial services, private banks also down. Now even PSU banks are slipping. Metals, pharma, consumer durables, mid caps also down and in the red as of now. But what is still holding up within the entire gamut of stocks which are buzzing in trade, well, we'll be able to see that it's the fertilizer space that continues to take higher. Deepak Nitrite is up by 3.5%. You also have Aarti Industries joining the fray, 2.2% higher on that one. Kunal, anything specific within, and Naveen Fluorine is now up and about within the chemicals and the fertilizer space. What would you really look at within this space?
Well, if we talk about overall chemical space, then many stocks are there which looks very attractive, but few stocks are there which looks attractive only for get into the stock only for long position at present level. And you also mentioned Navin Flooring. Right now stock is trading at 3675. So one can get into the stock at 3675 with strict SL of 3520. And if we talk about SL side, sorry, if you talk about target side, the first target comes at 3800, and if stock gives a breakout of 3800, then we can see a very good upside movement up to the level of 4000, so which will be somewhere around 8 to 9% return that we can see the counter with strict SL of 3520. Now, second counter looks very attractive to me. It's Tata Chemical, the way stock has been trading, and recently stock also took the support of its 100 days moving average. So we can see very good we can see very good bounce back from the present level. So right now it is trading at 1100. One can get into the stock at 1100. If we talk about SL side and downside, strong support comes at 1050. Now, if we talk about target side, and first target comes at 1140, and if stock gives a breakout of this 1140, then 1200 will be there, which again somewhere around 9 to 10% is from the present level. So yes, Tata Chemical looks very attractive with strict SL of 1050.
9:38, ladies and gentlemen, we have a fairly decent bout of profit picking happening away from the table. The Bank Nifty is now down 178 points, 52,400. Remember, the put writing on the weekly option chain is very strong on 52,400, 300, and dramatically stronger at 52,000. So those are levels where the index may bounce back from, but we'll keep an eye out on this one. Overall, the bulls seem to be on a back foot today. The advanced decline at about 9:38 is 1400 shares in the green, 817 in the red. The declines are gaining ground. What's in the green? The Nifty Oil and Gas Index, the Nifty Energy Index, both up 1% and half a percentage points respectively. What's also buzzing in trade? Let's look at the volume buzzers in the market at this point of time. Well, it's Angel 1, 7% lower, 2400 for you. Already 17 lakh shares have been traded, which is 4.3 times the 5-day average. There are reports that the impact may be overblown by the kind of reaction that has happened on Angel 1, and this might be a time to maybe look at it in a more positive manner rather than just focus on price action. CSB Bank, this is something that I am coming to you with, Kunal. 3.6% higher, 388. Very strong update coming in on its business for the past 3 months. What are the charts of CSB Bank telling you?
Well, Sailji, right now stock is trading at 388, and in early session stock made a high of 403 level, and from the upper level we are seeing some profit booking in the counter right now. So from my side, it's a clear avoiding signal, okay, because stock is forming somewhere around shooting star candlesticks, and it is a bearish reversal candlesticks formation. So it's clearly avoiding recommendation from my side. We may see some downside up to the level of 371 and more below somewhere around 362.
Okay. Now, what's happened on CSB Bank, ladies and gentlemen, is the all-time high was somewhere like 422. This we've seen way back in Jan 24. But a very strong business update coming in. 18% growth in credit for the past 3 months, and of course a 12% uptick in deposits. So keep that in mind as far as CSB Bank is concerned. And Sakshi, all those orderings that people had done during the final of the T20 World Cup are now coming to the fore. Zomato 206.20, very sharp block deals coming in. All time high is 207.20. Kunal, what are the charts of Zomato telling you?
Well, Selji, it's a clear buy signal on a daily chart. The way stock has been trading since last many days, it seems that stock is about to give a breakout of its, range bound momentum. So I would say one can get into the stock at the present level at the 205. Now we talk about SL side, then 190 would be the strict SL. And if you talk about target size, the first target comes at 270. And if stock gives a breakout of this hidden resistance at 270, we can see a very good upside momentum, impressive momentum, I would say, up to the level of 235, which would be somewhere around 14 to 15% from the present level. So yes, it's a clear signal buy side from my side with strict SL of 190.
Okay, got that. So that's the view coming in. The other space that's buzzing is the paper and the packaging space as well. A lot of these stocks buzzing sharply. You have JK paper that's up 5%, Astron paper up 5%, Seshasai paper up 4% right now. Kokuyu Camlin also up 3%. You have TCPL packaging up 5.5%. The entire space seems to be a buzz with action. Where are you keeping your focus on, Kunal, within the paper and the packaging space?
Well, one stock is there which looks very attractive to me because recently stock took the support of its 100 MA on early chart, and right now it is trading at 702 level West Coast paper. The way stock has been trading, it seems like stock is near to give a breakout of its flat formation. So it's a clear signal on a daily chart to get into the stock at 702 level. If we talk about SL side and downside, SL comes at the 680 level. Now target side, we can see first target at 720, and if stock gives a breakout of the 720, then we can see a very good upside momentum up to the level of 750 as well.
Okay, got that. So that's the paper space for you, where we will be keeping an eye out on as well. Remember, the Adani Group stocks are also in focus today. The entire space seems to be in the green as of now. This is after, Hindenburg has also published a copy of the SEBI notice that they have received from SEBI. And they've also given out the nature of their short position that they had on Adani Group. So the entire space seems to be in focus again. Anything else, Kunal, that you would be looking at within the Adani Group now that we have seen some action coming in from our own market regulator, reverse action coming in on Hindenburg now?
Well, I would say please avoid as of now because stock is in limelight and stock is in news right now. So we can say very good. It's not good, but we can say very high volatility in the counters. So no risk reward will be perfect at present level. So it's like clearly avoiding from my side. But yes, you can keep the stocks in your watch list because the way when this company has its expanding plan, particularly in the renewable energies and all, we can see very good upside momentum in long term. But right now, for trading perspective, I would say please avoid these stocks.
Fair point. And the gist of the report that Adani has submitted is they haven't made, Hindenburg has submitted to SEBI is that they haven't made, a
Much
killing
profit
on Adani stock. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. Maybe they because it's not a regulated entity in India, maybe they made money elsewhere in some other account. But here is a situation where you practically destroyed a very well-known business group. Nothing was found, and here we are. When you look at the mess that Hindenburg created in terms of harming the corporate reputation, harming millions of shareholders who had reposed faith in the Adani group, and the end result is that the person who sort of injected that venom in not only the Indian markets but also on the India growth story stands to make little or no money. What can be done? Perhaps the strictest action should be taken so that this is not repeated again. Markets in a bit of a downdraft for the moment. The Nifty Bank 52,200, 372 points lower. Profit booking across the spectrum in small cap, mid cap, NSE 500. The lone index that's holding up is the energy space related to crude oil. Look at ONGC, look at Oil India, both of them showing fairly strong gains, and of course the entire CNG pack, IGL, MGL showing very strong growth, including stocks such as Gujarat Gas. What's now moving on the long side? Maybe JK Paper, 572 for you, a strong move coming in there, and of course bits and pieces. NLC India up 1% at 246. There isn't a sectoral trend on the long side unless you look at defense, which we are just showing you and not taking any views. There's a very large block that's happened on Mazgaon dock. I'd probably keep that in mind because it is near its record high. So 470 crores worth of single trade in 5 minutes. That's really big. Keep that in mind. As far as the other markets are concerned, Kunal, anything that catches your attention, something that we may have missed?
Well, definitely one stock is there from pharma sector and FDC. The way stock has been trading since long, in an upward edging channel formation above its 100 days moving average. Even stock has given a breakout of its 474 level on an early chart. Daily chart, weekly chart looks very perfect to me. So, it's a clear long signal, particularly in FDC. One can get into the stock at 479. If we talk about SL side and downside, SL comes at 455. So, we can see very good upside movement counter with strict SL of 455 up to the level of 500. And second target would be at 530. It means counter is ready to give a return somewhere around 10 to 11% from the present level with strict SL of 455. So, FDC looks very attractive to me.
Let's also keep an eye out on the primary market space. Remember, allied blenders and distillers will be listing in about 10 minutes from now, and in the pre-open the prices have settled at around 320 rupees per share. This is as against the issue price of 281 rupees per share. That is indicating about a 15% premium listing of allied blenders, and this is more or less what was being expected. About 15-20% of listing gain was being expected. Let us see how it really opens up in trade. Remember, the IPO had got about 23.5 times of a subscription on that front too. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on this, and 10 minutes back we will definitely check the listing price as well of allied blenders. Let's get back to the markets and see if there are any other pockets that we can be discussing. Let's discuss the real estate space with you, Kunal. That's something that is again gaining some traction. Again, this space has been off and on coming back in focus. So Brigade, Sobha, Godrej Properties, Prestige, they seem to be in action again today, rising anywhere between 2 to 3% odd. Does it give you the confidence to take the dips as of now, or because this space has been a long way into the up move, or do you believe that the top has been made largely?
Well, recently I saw one news where it was clearly saying that recent days registry of new buying, particularly in Delhi NCR and Mumbai, is on a record level. So I'm seeing a very good upside momentum in these real estate stocks. And one stock is there. It's a Godrej property right now. Stock is trading at 3,200, and the stock has been trading in uncharted territory since long and in a upward rising channel formation as well. So it's a clear long indication on a daily chart. One can get into the stock at 3,200. Now we talk about SL side, and SL comes at 3,150. So one can get into the stock at 3,220 level with a strict SL of 3,150. Now first target would be at 3,280, and if stock gives a breakout of 3,280, then we can see a very good upside momentum even up to the level of 3,364 level. So yes, Godrej property looks very good to me.
Okay, got that. So that's the view coming in on the real estate space as well. Apart from this, let's again look at the entire hotel space, tourism, hospitality, some of them already marked by Michelle from the QSR space and the food delivery space. But the hotels and hospitality space, is that interesting you at this point in time, Kunal? Look at Chalet Hotels, that's again a buzz in action in trade today. We've been looking at a whole host of other stocks also, ITTC, Tourism Finance Corp. These have been buzzing off late too. Anything that looks positive?
Well, I have analyzed all the chart of this auto industry and hospitality, but the way particular this stocks has been trading, but time being in a downtrend, I would say wait for the time being. Let's correct them further from the present level. We might get a good entry level in these stocks.
Okay, got that.
Sakshi, a theme that's burning brightly in the markets is paper. And this is something we need to focus at. JK paper record high. Remember, these are all under-owned, undervalued, underappreciated counters, which over the last 4 or 5 trading sessions have jumped dramatically. A record high on JK paper. The counter is now gaining substantial ground. We track 13 paper stocks for you, and they are up between 1.3 and 8.5%. So all 13 paper stocks are in the green. 5% gains on Imami paper, West Coast paper 4% higher, Ruchira paper 5% higher, Sheshasai and Star paper also adding 5 percentage points each. But the star of the show is JK paper, 8.3% higher, 579. This is a record high which I will not track on the charts, but showing traction is West Coast paper, 4% higher at 715. Kunal, what are the charts of West Coast telling you?
Well, chart is looking very attractive because on an early chart, stock already took the support of its 100 MA, and right now stock is trading at 716 level. And I think we discussed this stock earlier with target of 720 first target. Right now stock is trading at 716. And if stock gives a breakout of 720, we can see a very good upside momentum up to the level of 770 and more above 810 as well. So yes, this stocks particularly looks very good to me.
All right, Kunal. Well, thank you so much, Kunal, for being with us on the show and sharing all your thoughts and ideas and various stocks that you've shared on trade today. We'll wrap up the morning edition, viewers. As you all know, that we will be joined by Patanjali top management at 10 a.m. So don't forget to tune in to listen into that exclusive conversation on the deal that's being done as far as Patanjali Foods and Patanjali Ayurved is concerned. Coming up next, just within few minutes, so stay tuned with us. Meanwhile, the Nifty is slipping 30 points lower in trade, about 24,110 right now. Oil and gas continues to be the top showing. So Oil India or Oil and Natural Gas, Coal India, these are the stocks that are buzzing. You also have some IT names like Wipro, Infi, Tech Mahindra, LTI, Mindtree, TCS also a buzz with some gains. And within the F&O space, it's the fertilizers and the chemicals pack that's garnering all the attention. Deepak Nitrite, Aarti Industries. You also have ONGC, Godrej Properties, Mahanagar Gas. These are the stocks that are buzzing. PSU index is holding up about 0.4% odd. And again, over here, you have some railways, some oil and gas stocks, and some power stocks also that we are looking at as of now. But we'll wrap it up at that. Many thanks for joining us, both Shail and me, on the morning edition. But do stay tuned as action continues on the other side.
All right, well, joining me today is a prominent stock market face and, of course, a person who's extremely bullish and has been talking about the EV space for a very long time. In fact, when it started to gain a lot of prominence in India, Mr. Vijay Kide is with us. Mr. Kide, thank you so much for joining us at Business Today TV. Today a lot of conversation has been happening on EV, and you have been a person who has been, particularly talking about EVs for a very long time. Like before even Tata Motors started to get EVs into India, you were the person who were actually, getting a lot of talks about EVs, sir. At the junction that we are today, sir, what is your outlook on EVs now, sir? And should people really be investing in EVs space or the stocks or whatever, especially the companies that